I think what's clear from what the company told us today is that the project continues to be a strong project. We went through a due diligence process to consider how this would be commercially viable. This was in the range of considerations that we looked at. Of course, the project will deliver $1.5 billion of available cash flow once it's finished, which means that it remains commercially viable, and I think very interesting for the eventual commercial buyers that we're going to be seeking, because we don't intend on keeping this in government hands.
So the first thing is, as Conservatives have always said, there never needed to be a single tax dollar spent on the Trans Mountain expansion. The Liberals had to give legal and political certainty to the private sector proponent to build it and use private dollars. So here we are, years later, and Ian Anderson has now confirmed exactly what Conservatives have been warning, exactly what the Parliamentary Budget Officer warned, and exactly what economists have warned, which is that the Trans Mountain expansion will now cost taxpayers way more than what the Liberals had currently indicated. The news that's come out today is that the Trans Mountain expansion is now predicted to cost a third more than the Liberals first told Canadians. That's why Conservatives continue to call on them to release a concrete plan of next steps for construction, transparency on costs, and their plan for final private ownership of the Trans Mountain expansion.
We're talking about, to date, estimates of close to $20 billion for the cost of Trans Mountain, which makes this the largest fossil fuel subsidy in Canadian history. This is another reason why we need to take another look at Trans Mountain. It simply does not make sense for the federal government to be bankrolling in such a massive way this pipeline. Cut the losses for Canadian. We're already seeing $10 billion in climate change costs a year now. The cost of this pipeline is enormous, and we know as well the cost of climate change. This fuels climate change. So a federal government that is attempting to be a climate leader should not be splurging all of this money, taxpayers' money,